The comet cometh. It is the year of the cheese. As was foretold by the midget prophet Nos was in it. In the book of condiments, the comet of infinite possibilities has returned to the skies of Lear, peppering the air with the titillating je ne sais quoi. What did I just read? Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Pandemonium 2. We've made it through Goon City and down into the ice prison. I don't know what's going to be in it other than it's ice in a prison. That kind of makes up for whatever's going to be in it. And we're going to be continuing to use Fargus for this, simply because it shows how he can hold his own. Now there's a couple of things I want to discuss in this video, including the health system, actually. Let's start with that. The health system has kind of changed a fair bit since the first game, because now we have this wonderful wheel of health instead of the regular heart system that was in the last game. If you notice there, and I can actually pause, you'll notice that it's actually a circle and that there's 4 different sections to it. That means we actually are able to take 4 hits, which is double the amount we were able to start with in the first game, where we can only take 2. Now we'll discuss more about increasing health later. But now we have to deal with our very special spell. So this spell is also the second symbol that incorporates a special spell depending on whether you have Fargus or Nikki. This one is called the Pumpacid. This is actually a very interesting spell for Fargus, especially because it's kind of strategic in a lot of ways. It helps him get to areas that were not thought possible with Fargus, because you're able to inflate enemies. Like we're able to get up here. It's the only way that Fargus is able to get up here. If it was Nikki, we would be able to simply bounce on the enemy, double jump, and we'd be able to get up here no problem. Now the Pumpacid, including being able to inflate an enemy, also acts as a kind of, it acts as a spring. It can also kill enemies. You throw Sid at him and it attaches, and then if you keep pressing square, they will explode into a million pieces. Kinda gruesome that way, though. Now I should mention that we're actually inflating armor goons. I think this is one of the only places where the armor goons actually show up again, and they're actually a tiny bit different compared to the previous game. One being that they can only... they still have their dagger attack, but the fact that they can only take 1 hit before going down compared to the multiple hits from last game. Now actually, I want to talk about this level in more detail. Really, the ice prison feels like a really weird level to have as a second level. Also, rat bats. But more importantly, it really bugs me that the second level of this game is an ice level. Like, they could have had something else, but then once I'm thinking about it more, like, if you've played the game, you'll know where I'm coming from when I make this point, but really, I think this is the only place that they were ever able to put an ice level. You'll really see why once we get into the later levels, trust me, but it just feels weird, and I think it's really annoying. It's hard to get up into this place, so I usually try to throw Sid at the rat bat in order to get it away, and then I use Sid just to collect the treasure because it's kind of easier that way. I take less hits that way, and I don't have my Pumpacid anymore. That's not good. I kinda need my Pumpacid for getting more treasure later. This may not be good. I'm gonna jump over this goon. Screw the goon! Oh wait, no, there's Pumpacid in this room, and of course, I don't know if they're supposed to be frozen or not, but it looks weird. There we go. But yeah, this level is just kind of out of place in my opinion. Because why is it an ice prison? Now, use the pumpacid, there we go, and we can enter this little alcove all the way up here, hidden away, which contains a whole lot of treasure. A pretty good amount of treasure, if you ask me. There we go. This music is also fairly standard. It's not really anything that's really engaging compared to other tracks that I've heard in the past, but I guess it kind of fits for what it's supposed to do. Like, it's no castle dungeon, but whatever. Now we'll continue on. Up the turn. And across the spikes. These spikes are kind of annoying when you get stuck on them because it's hard to get off. So don't even try. Now, these are actually new goons. Don't actually have the official name for them. But they actually... Hey! You jerk! Oh, you have your helmet on. There we go. One thing about new enemies is that some enemies will actually give you back health when you defeat them, which is actually kind of really cool. But yeah, I don't really have an interest. I don't have the actual name. I think they're just like they're soldiers. They're pretty much soldiers in any way, shape, and form that I can think of. They're also incredibly annoying. That's why it's really good to just make them explode. Now this, I might as well talk at this point more about Fargus because he has more description onto his page in the manual. Both Nikki and Fargus have this in a nutshell section of their page, which includes different separate categories, like this is what their favorite people, favorite like likes and dislikes and kind of thing, so I might as well just go over it. Each of them have their own nickname. Fargus is apparently known as Heatseeker because I guess of his pyromania. His idol is the inventor of napalm, which I think is rather new and not generally... Oh, this is bad. This is bad. There we go. Alright. Oh. Sick. Dang it! I have to be strategic. Well, actually, I don't. I still have Sid. What am I talking about? Anyway, yeah, his idol is apparently the inventor of napalm. Which, fun fact, if you didn't know who the inventor of napalm is actually Louis, I'm gonna butcher his last name. How did that happen? Just momentum? Okay. Louis, Pfizer, who is the inventor of napalm. You can just look him up. Google him. F-I-E-S-E-R. His passions are taking a bite out of each chocolate. Which is a... Ugh. You ever met one of those people? It's really annoying. Anything toasted and also playing dress up. He hates showering, butterbeans, and getting gum on his shoe, like everybody does. Now these cannons are actually fairly useless in this level. I don't know what they're doing here, because it's very easy to enjoy. It's very easy to dodge them. I don't know if I've made clear that the treasure getting sound for this game is really, really annoying. Pete's sake. Now always look behind things because there's always treasure or health, whichever you need. There we go. Now his favorite motto is also it's a really weird motto. Throw another gimp on the Barbie. Yep. I have nothing to say to that. And of course his favorite hobby is hurling Sid or a fireball into someone's dental work. Yeah. Now, there's a life down there. Nice smiley, and how are we gonna get to it? Well, there's a rat bat. Dang it. That rat bat is out of sync. The best way in order to get that life is to use the rat bat, but if he doesn't... There we go! If he doesn't sync up with the life when you fall on him, it's actually possible to get it without the rat bat. It's really hard and you'll probably fall into the pit, but it's actually possible. Now, here's an interesting part. Now, you notice that there's a flaming Fargus down there. One thing about the flaming Fargus I really didn't go into much detail is that flaming Fargus is actually kind of a detriment in a lot of ways in terms of collecting treasure, which also makes Fargus falls inferior to Nikki. It's really because of the elaborate ways that you need to take Fargus in order to collect treasure. The flaming Fargus kind of makes that move because you need enemies a lot in order to get to specific places. Like this rat bat, for instance. If we jump on him, we are able to get up here for lots more treasure. But yeah, the flaming Fargus is just a really not strategic. Like, I'm not picking this up because there are enemies, like this rat bat, for instance, that I also need to use, and, well, if I had the flaming Fargus, I wouldn't be able to get up here because it would just kill everything instantly, and that's not what I want to do. Now up here, I need to use this goon in order to get all the way up here, and this, I don't know why they give you another Pumpacid. It doesn't really make much sense, but you get a life, an extra piece of treasure, and actually a shortcut to continuing on with the stage, but I'm not going to use it yet. I actually have to go back down here to kind of the normal path. Oh, damn it. Oh well, there's another Pumpacid for me, so I'm pretty much good. I don't think I need the Pumpacid anymore, but hey, it couldn't hurt. Easy now, easy. Now, also in their nutshell, description, there's also their last book read. You really think Fargus reads books? Well, in terms of, does Fargus read books? The answer is, book? I don't know what these things are, like iron goons? Like, really, they're just kind of in a shield all on their own. It doesn't make much sense to me. There we go. The flaming Fargus is still kind of fun when enemies are just kind of annoying and you can just wipe them out. Except I do need the... It is a good idea to have the flaming Fargus for this section because you're invincible. And you don't have to worry about anything. But it's easy to get through. Now this area is probably going to be a really annoying point. And I'll tell you why. The problem is that it's kind of a one-way ticket. So if you miss treasure, you're kind of boned. So if you're a treasure collector like me, you want to take this part slow. Also, these things love bouncing you back, and if you're really precise, I'll have to show it off later. But anyway, this is kind of an annoying section because of the camera. The camera goes all cinematic in terms of all of these jumps, which you have to be fairly precise for. And the timing just gets really weird. Now, there we go! If you hit the exact top of this trampoline, you can just go sky high. It's actually fairly amusing. It doesn't really help or anything, like you can't go backwards up the ramp in order to miss treasure you missed. You just kind of phase through the platforms that you missed. So it's not any sort of easy way of going through anything. Now this is another area that is really annoying. Now as you can see, there's a lot of rat bat jumping involved here. Now on its own, it's not actually very hard. The problem comes when you're on your way back. There we go. Alright, I think that's pretty good. And you can even see the key in this little alcove here, which takes us all the way here, where we collect treasure. Lots and lots of treasure. Now, of course, I wanted to make sure that I get all of it, which can be pretty hectic. Here we go. There we are. And when we're done, we're all the way back out here. Now, the hard part begins. Now, you may have noticed that I've kept rat bats alive. Now, in a perfect world, you should be able to use the path that you've made. There we go. In order to get back and collect these 3 pieces of treasure. one of the main vices I have with this level is that it's very, very precise about the treasure collection rate that you need. If you don't have the proper, like, if you're missing one piece of treasure, and apparently those spikes do not hurt you. I don't know why. But if you're missing one piece of treasure, you won't get the 100% treasure rating, which is kind of what has stopped me from getting 100% treasure rating. It's not the only part. There's actually one part coming up. We're reaching the end of the stage, so we're getting there. It's getting these pieces of hair kind of annoying. But then again, we have Sid, so Sid should make this a little bit easier. Except he's not. Why is he not? Why is he not helpful? Also, if a piece of treasure is off screen, Sid won't grab it. I noticed. This isn't the only time you also have to do it, too. Ah! Okay. Look at him dance. Anyway. More, like, why are there so many slides here? It's like, I guess they wanted to put the ice physics somewhere. But after this, we have our final stretch of the level, which involves this jump. This jump sucks. Because I've never been able to do it properly in order to get the treasure that is across the gap. And once you jump, you can't go back. Here we go! Nope, I didn't. It's really hard. Like, I was not jumping, and I probably got about half of them. If you jump, you're gonna miss a lot. A lot, if not all of that treasure. Now we have to go down here for more treasure. But yeah, it's just really annoying. And it's probably gonna, it's probably going to be what's going to make me get 99%, because the end of the level is right here. Okay. Oh, sweet! Haha! Even with a couple of pieces of treasure missing, I actually get 100% treasure rating. Very happy about that, because I have never gotten 100% treasure rating before. Not even my test run. But anyway, let's do Border Run. Because I still have to show it off, because I haven't beaten it yet. Now, one thing about Border Run that, like, I know... One thing I want to discuss through Border Run is the fact that the reason I think they got rid of full tilt. I think the reason was that it was really slow for a bonus game. Like, you can, like, Speed Greed had a lot of good things going for it. It had the speed, it was hectic, it had a lot of adrenaline going for it, and full tilt, yes, you could get a lot of lives. But it didn't really have a lot of challenge. So, that was kind of a detriment there, and it also took so long to beat. Then again, a lot of people didn't really do it. Like, I stopped doing it, too. I just started losing on purpose simply because it took so dang long. But this is quick! Listen to that sound. So much sound. And yeah, usually you get about 79-80% if you don't screw up and do it on your first try. Getting more treasure, you would need to use the second and third attempt just to do multiple paths. But yeah, there's Border Run. Not as good as Speed Greed, but it does what it needs to do. And with that, we're out of Ice Prison. Still, this is really the only spot they could have put it. And you'll figure out why in the later levels, as we continue on and get back into where we were supposed to be. Going through into Zorsha's lab. Trying to figure out what's going on. Rocket ships and whatnot. See you next time, everyone.